Before we start this video, let me know, do you prefer the Episode 1 Phantom Menace Yoda puppet, the Episode 5 Yoda puppet, or the Last Jedi version of the puppet?
We would be honored if you would join us.
Hey guys, how's your day going today? So Yoda, the symbol of wisdom, knowledge, and peace. He has caused such a huge impact not just among Star Wars fans like us, but rather the entire planet itself. With over a speculated 1.3 billion fans of the franchise, you can imagine a good portion of people on Earth know just who Yoda is, or at least heard of him. So let's talk about him in The Last Jedi, shall we? That scene was beautiful. It was very heartfelt, and while I was sitting in my seat all starry-eyed and emotional, I couldn't help but notice something. He looked really weird. Now, I get that he's a puppet to recalibrate the connection we all felt between Yoda and Luke in Empire on Dagobah. However, there was something else. His head, it just looked squashed. Unfortunately, I can't put pictures in the video due to it getting taken down, obviously, but you all know what I mean. It just didn't look the same. So, after doing some research, Screen Rant, a website, has noted that it actually was the exact replica of the puppet itself from Empire Strikes Back. In fact, the lady who even painted his original eyes was the same artist to reprise her work with this version of Yoda as well. Rian Johnson had this to say about casting Yoda again. He was 100% puppet. We actually recreated the puppet from The Empire Strikes Back. They found original molds and Frank Oz came out and puppeteered him. It was exactly the way they would have done it when they shot Empire. ILM sent a giant crate filled with nearly 40 years of material, a time capsule. As we opened the boxes, Scanlan says, it was very evident that each model we took out was from a more recent model, he recalled. Then we got to the very bottom, and there was this wooden box, and I could tell instantly that that was an original Yoda mold from Stuart Freeborn, made himself. As we undid it, there was the original head of Yoda. That and one hand were the only two things that we had to go on. Then Screen Rant goes on to say that Rian Johnson has stated that only 10 to 15% of The Last Jedi was filmed digitally, which is very unusual for modern films, but he prefers digital for low light situations or shooting elements for effects-heavy sequences. Now, while of course there is no definitive answer to the question, I mean, Rian thinks he got Yoda to look just like the original puppet, so it's not like anyone's gonna ask him in an interview, "Hey Rian, what's up with your version of Yoda?" So for this answer, we can just put two and two together as best as we can. There was definitely some touching up with Yoda, of course, during the night scene, and considering a dark green puppet is even harder to see in the dark on film, then it would make sense that a blend of CGI was used for Yoda as well. At least some sort of touch-up with light, and in the process, maybe it warped him a little. Either that, or Rian completely botched the Yoda puppet and just claims that it was the original replica. Now, I do know Rian also used a very rare type of filming for this movie. It was a really wide lens, which isn't used for other films, so maybe that had something to do with it, but I highly doubt that because then Luke and all the other characters would look distorted as well. I guess with the new editing and the new software and everything that they're using now, it's just a bit different than back in 1980 when they shot Empire. So here's what I want to ask you guys at the end of this video. Did you like the CGI Yoda from the prequels better, or the puppet Yoda from the original trilogy? Now, I do want to add in here before we close today's video that the Episode 1 Yoda puppet was entirely different as well. Now, this was mainly because Yoda was supposed to be a lot younger here than he was in Return of the Jedi or The Empire Strikes Back. So here's another question for you. Do you prefer the Episode 1 Yoda puppet or the Last Jedi puppet? I don't know, they both just look kind of weird to me. Anyways, let me know down below. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you have an awesome day or night wherever you are watching this in the galaxy. And I will see you all in the next episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, remember,
the Force will be with you always.
Now, fulfill